Greetings friends, welcome. Today we're looking at why I use Tailwind, and we'll be starting with the responsive design. So with Tailwind you get a set of, it's a design system, you get a set of breakpoints that you can apply to your Tailwind classes out of the box. It's all there defined for you, ready to go. So compared to writing normal kind of CSS with classes that you might do for responsive design, where you've got to create a media query and then have that override a class. We're writing it inline with Tailwind, so it's kind of like inline CSS. But with inline CSS, you can't use media queries, but with Tailwind you can because they're classes. So none of that makes probably much sense. What I'm going to try and do is give an example here and show the differences between the two and why Tailwind is kind of a lot easier to use in my opinion. Right, so what I've got here is just a list of, just got a HTML page with 5 items on that are in a column, which is nice when the screen is small. When it gets larger, maybe we want to turn it into a horizontal, into a row view. So here's the page we're looking at. We just got the divs here, and we got the view class on it here. So if I come into the styles, let me go like this and get these side by side. Split left. Like so. So what we would want to do in a normal scenario now is have a media query. So we'd go media and we do min width and specify something like 640 for a small one. And then what we can do is override our view class. So we can say dot view, and we want the flex direction in this case to be row. Now with that in place, when I open this up here, you can see it's changing into a row. So that's working, that's great. Problem comes when you start to get more and more of this. We've already had to create a class name, which is view, which is fine, it's one. But we've also got to create one of these for each of the breakpoints. So you're going to need to work out where is a good point to be breaking. Another thing that Tailwind has kind of taken care of for you, it's got a set of defaults there that you can use. You can customize them as well if you need to, but it's already in place for you. So you don't have to come up with, right, where are my breakpoints going to be? And you also don't have to come up with these class names. But yeah, so say we wanted, and when it got a bit wider, we wanted the font size to get bigger. So say we went font size and put it up to 40px. Now we should have the 2 breakpoints. So it's column, then it goes to row at 640, and then at 768 the font size gets bigger. Okay, that's great. That's fine. What happens now? Say you've got another list here, and you want it to be the same, but just with a little bit of customization. So you're going to start, you've now got to get a new class in here again. We're already creating a new class. So for the larger ones, say we actually wanted the font size to be really big. We wanted it to be like 70. So we could have a view font large maybe. And then we can use that class as well as view. Would be one option. You have both the classes on there. If we look at this now here, that might be a bit too big. Let's go back to, let's make it slightly bigger, 50. Okay, so you can see the second line here is slightly bigger than the first. So we've made that small change. But any of these little changes throughout, compared to the standard class that you're using, it means you've got to create a new class, and then you kind of got to, when it gets so many of them, and you're trying to do something new, you've got to find out if that class exists already, and if it doesn't, then you're creating a new one. And another thing there is, when you stop using one of these classes, is still going to be sitting there unused. With Tailwind, it's going to clean up anything that you don't use as well. So it gets hard to maintain, and there's lots going on there. It's not saying it's not doable, but it's not as easy as what I'm going to show you now, which is the Tailwind version. So if I just take this back out for now, and then we put in our Tailwind style sheet and put in this line here. So in Tailwind, we're using these predefined classes. So we're going to say flex, and we're going to say flex column by default, and then we can apply the responsive design to any of the utilities without having to write a new class. So we've got the small one, which is 640. And it turns to flex row, and then we've got the medium, which is 768, and that's where the text gets larger. So this should still work pretty similar. If I bring this down, it goes column, then it goes wide, and then it goes larger again. So we're getting the same effect, but we don't have to write any classes because they're kind of already there, you know. And when you're writing, when you're coming in here and writing this, you're essentially writing Tailwind again. It's already there for you, all these breakpoints and stuff. And then for the customization, so say you need to customize it, we don't need to create a new class, you know, because we can apply the difference against the medium breakpoint here. So we could say, yeah, 4XL for that one down there. So when we see our second list now, you know, that just works. So you've got that more finer granularity of control without having to create more and more classes and complexity. So yeah, there you go. Responsive design, Tailwind, bit of a win, I think. Thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you like that. Thumbs down if not, though. And I'll catch you next time. Bye.